All right, it's about that time. Here we got a Elysian Space Dust IPA. Beautiful bottle. We've been heavy on the IPAs for quite a while, much like the rest of the US of A, but they've kind of fallen off as of late. Everyone kind of got too hoppy. You know, we love a good ABV, but we also got to keep the palate fresh. So, well, an incredible pour. I typically leave a little bit for whatever the purpose, but this looks great bubbles, great color, great foam, great texture, great all around. Great hoppy logo. I like that guy. I like, much like the shock top, how they incorporate a little bean as a beer icon. So let's dive in. Cheers. Okay, yeah, great. This is great. Great hoppiness. What do you expect when you order, drink, consume an IPA? So they are out of, Elysian is in a lot of places. Seattle, Washington, Fairfield, California, Fort Collins, Colorado, remember that, Cartersville, Georgia, and Merrimack, New Hampshire. So Fort Collins, Colorado, to me, has the best beers. Particularly, begins with an E. Incredible brewery that begins with an E. I'm going to look up. There has to be a connection because they make great beers. That's kind of what started this all, is who else makes great beers? Because I live in Florida right now, and spoiler alert, we do not make great beers. I've learned that it is all about the water and where the true water source comes from. And Florida is warm water, where Colorado, Seattle, is not warm water. It is cold water, it is natural, it is mountainy, limestoney, rock, whatever. The minerals produce the great beer. It's all about the fresh water that is brewed in. So, sorry Florida, a lot going for us, but craft brewing is not one. So I'm gonna have to look into Elysian because a lot of diversity here on the brew plants. But wow, 8.2 by volume, ABV 8.2%, 844 hop line. I don't know what that means. Probably how you contact them, but 8.2 ABV, incredible taste. A 2 out of 3 on the Michelin scale. Just when you hear IPA, this is what you think of. You think of high ABV, hoppiness, punchy, but crisp, you know. So often you get a high ABV that's too punchy, too hoppy with a terrible aftertaste. And that's why you sometimes don't even mind, if the ABV is high enough, you can degrade your taste preference. You don't always want to have to do that, but you'll, bend not break. So the fact that this is 8.2, drinks incredibly, smells great, florally even, not even too like piney. Even though I do love the pine, but like typically you're gonna smell that and think like, uh-oh. Where this is just, very smooth, very smooth. Shout out to you, Elysian. I've done a few of these now, and I was hoping I'd be dapping up the brewery, and it hasn't always worked that way. So it's nice to see, prevalence. If I was making my own 6-pack, 12-pack, you never drew, but at an 8.2, I guess you wouldn't want to fully overload on some 8.2s, a little diversity in the pack, but 3 out of 6, easy. 3 out of 6, 6 out of 12. If you're creating your own numeral pack, you can't go wrong. Elysian Space Dust. And I've had plenty of these before. It's not like I'm blown away. But you kind of forget what is what to a certain degree. I felt like Elysian was out of Illinois. Not sure why. But it's still great beers out of, probably because it's a great beer. Great water source, great beers. So yeah, cheers. Shout out to you, Elysian. Hope I'm saying that right. The beers of Eli. Cheers.